Asmongold is basically saying people like Bonnie or people like Mahmoud Khalil who are speaking out against these atrocities deserve to be deported. How do you maintain a relationship with a person like that? Yeah, they're getting flamed into oblivion right now. Emiru's getting flamed into oblivion. Emiru's face when she asked to comment on ICE killing random people and racially profiling Americans, but she's just a bebe who cosplays and is friends with a bunch of grifters. I don't have any issues with Emiru, but let's be real. It is odd that she is like directly aligned with a bunch of these dickheads, right? It's weird because it was her head mod that asked her about ICE while attacking Hasan. Did she set this up with her head mod to open an attack on the left? They're coming after her when no one even asked. It's not my fault. All your close friends are Nazis. I don't think this is like a grand conspiracy, Michael from Pennsylvania. I think Ali Kitty, her head mod, was just basically making a joke. So what are your thoughts on ICE, Hasanet? It's so dumb. Like, what is a streamer saying ICE validated? It makes no sense. If a streamer saying ICE is not that consequential, then why do you guys mauled so much? Yeah, I think Hasanet is code for Sinna, right? They have to turn everything back to, they have to basically turn everything back to like something that, like, I taught people to hate ICE as though that's the reason why Sinna has an opinion on ICE. They're so stupid. Sean watched the VOD. The context is that Emiru is going to China, so the joke was that Emmy is Hasanet. Oh, okay. Because she's going to China too. And by the way, what's crazy is like, she has a lot of reactionary, very close friends that are like insane, but like she lived with Bonnie, she lived with Sinna. You know what I mean? Like, these are people who aren't bad people at all. These are people who are very kind people, very nice people. I'm not just talking about their politics. Anyway, maybe the head mod was making a joke about like her going to China and you know how she's turning into me or something, right? Whatever. So what are your thoughts on ICE as a follow-up joke to this? Ends up getting her in a lot of trouble because she responds like this. And I'll be honest, like this is you know, I saw some of this response. It's not very, it's a ridiculous response, okay? To a certain
extent where I'm like, okay, sure, I get people wanting big content creators to like say their opinions on like important topics. I get that, right? But it's like, if you need a streamer who doesn't even know anything about politics to tell you about politics, you probably just need to like get off the internet. Like, just stop. Like hello? Like,
this take in and of itself is also like interesting because like there are a lot of people, because she has a shared audience with Asmongold. Asmongold raids her all the time. They have a podcast together. A lot of her shared audience gets their notes from a political content creator. For me, at least, I try to provide like some information for people. You know what I mean? I try to do like news coverage. I was with a DSA slate yesterday. I collaborate with, you know, people who I align with ideologically, from, you know, Zoran Mamdani all the way to congresspersons. Asmongold doesn't do any of that shit. He's just chirping like a reactionary mouthpiece, like a bot that's just like feeding into a machine, the most right-wing position that is palatable at the time. And his audience loves that shit.
I don't, like, what? Like, how am I gonna, I don't know, get help? Like, even, like, I don't know.
I'll be honest, this to me reveals that, like, she knows where her bread is buttered. Like, she knows that, like, a big chunk of her audience is a bunch of racist chuds. And that's precisely the reason why she's trying to, like, not come out with a statement and is instead tackling the question itself by being like, why are you asking me? I'm just a content creator.
I don't know what that is. Like, I genuinely have no idea what that is. I don't know what you're talking about.
What is your opinion on ICE? She doesn't know what that is. I don't know what you're talking about.
What is HasanAbi? I don't know what. Oh, no, I know what ICE is. I thought. Okay, never mind. That's you? What the fuck? Like, I do. Like, there's a certain extent where I'm like, okay, sure, I get people wanting big content creators to like say their opinions on like important topics. I get that, right? But it's like,
no, her head mod didn't ask the question because it was planned. You guys are sometimes things are not as complex, dude. Why was she Why would she quite literally plan to get ass blasted up and down the timeline for a week and a half?
If you need a streamer who doesn't even know anything about politics to tell you about politics.
The actual reason for why she's saying this is because she doesn't want to offend the sensibilities of her right-wing audience that she shares with Asmongold. The catalyst for all this was actually Emiru complaining about people talking about how she'd never talk about anything political, not even the Epstein files or in other streamers' chats, which then prompted the Hasan comp comparison by her head mod, which they then 12 minutes later brought back. Some schizo was spamming my DM saying Nick is in the files, and I was like, good for you, dude. Our words be thinking you're Hasan. Yeah, well, what a lot of people don't understand is, like, for a lot of these people, they have no understanding of politics. They have no understanding of, like, why people are voting for whoever. They just think about it in terms of personality. Many of you have a hard time comprehending this because you're a little bit better versed in the field of politics, because I try to educate you on things that are, far beyond myself and my own personal fancy. If you think in terms of drama only when you talk about politics, everything goes back to people like myself. Because I happen to be the largest left-wing content creator in North America, everything is me. I've seen this. I've seen this with Ethan Klein's fan base as well. Ethan Klein's fan base will hear a politician literally say something about Palestine and go, oh, this guy's been brainwashed by Hasan. They'll hear Sam Cedar, a person 20 years my senior, who has been doing this for almost as long as I've been alive, say something that resembles my worldview, my opinion, and assume that I brainwashed Sam Cedar. You can only arrive at that position if you have no comprehension of ideology, you have no comprehension of political education, that your only understanding of politics revolves around content creators and personalities. I think a lot of you guys don't recognize exactly how stupid these people are. Like, this personality kitty legitimately thinks anything politics related is Hasan. Anything left politics related is Hasan. Anything right politics related is Asmongold. I don't understand why people are treating this as any different than the phenomenon we've seen forever with celebs. An internet personality being terrified to talk about anything remotely controversial and political. Yeah, it's cowardly, but this is hardly anything new or shocking. I agree. The only reason why it's having a lot of impact in this space is because streamers are endlessly accessible. That's why. And people develop parasocial relationships that can go in either direction, either tremendous amounts of love or tremendous amounts of hatred. And it can flip instantaneously. And that's the reason why. For some reason, it's accepted to see right-wing takes as casual, but you can't say anything leftist because then you're political. Exactly. So the reason why, I think the reason why Emiru doesn't want to say anything here is because she doesn't want to offend the sensibilities of her audience. They used to call Bruce Hasan anytime he disagreed with Kai or rage about saying the R word, or even over the fact that he would ban transphobic chatters. Your name has always been used as a negative comparison when other streamers act in moral ways. I know, because they see me as the representation of everything that is like virtue signaling, everything that is objectively virtuous, like caring about, like having an empathetic worldview, caring about marginalized communities. But because they see everything that is a representation of that as like a demonstration of Hasan, this is the outcome of that idiotic way of seeing the world. But it's also doubly it's doubly controversial because Emiru is a close associate of Asmongold and was a close associate until recently, and I don't even know if she actually spoke out about it with Lakari and also Tectone. Like, I don't think she is personally like a bad person at all. I think she's a very kind person. She's a very nice person. I think like part of the reason why she doesn't want to speak about that is the same reason why many of my friends for the past 2 years and even to this day don't ever say a peep about Israel, or even if they say free Palestine, they won't get into the drama of it all. Like, they see Asmongold calling every Muslim pro-Palestinian content creator terrorist on a daily basis. You think they don't realize that that's like unimaginably racist? They do. They just don't want to offend the sensibilities of their audience, and they don't want to invoke the wrath of hell from a legion of Asmongold fans who will go and harass them. But now the environment is shifting back. Now people are more open about their worldview. They're unafraid. They are unafraid to say how they feel, because it's gotten to a point, it's reached a boiling point where these guys were unchecked for the longest time, and they would basically identify any kind of empathetic position as a bridge too far and immediately deliver the wrath of hell upon anyone that dares say, oh, I don't know about this Trump stuff, guys. It got so crazy that people are just like spamming the N-word, being Nazis, sig heiling in open in broad daylight.
The only words I don't say on stream are the ones that I will get banned for. I don't say those, not yet.
A lot of people are wondering,
we're going to bring
you
it
said
back.
last week.
You know, people said enough is enough. We don't want this. And now woke is returning. And that's precisely the reason why a lot of people, luckily, are now finding the courage to say those things. People like Asmongold can consistently repeat this notion that like they will punish anyone that speaks out, but it's going to get to a point where he is an island. Just as someone who was an anti-Zionist for, 10 to 12 years prior to October 7, very publicly, I always felt isolated from my peers, even in the progressive community, when I maintained this position. Nowadays, I don't feel so isolated. Why don't I feel so isolated? Because nowadays, people who are pro-Israel are actually stigmatized and isolated. This kind of social pressure plays a big role because a lot of people don't have the political education. They don't go on this journey on their own, and they just go along with whatever the prominent cultural undertones look like. And the pendulum is shifting now. It's shifting because not just myself, but because of you guys as well. You didn't stop. You kept your pursuit of advocacy. You consistently kept saying, nope, I can tell right from wrong. I'm going to say the truth. I don't give a what the punishments are. Asmongold turns up the heat after Hasan Piker's comment on the Emiru ICE situation. These woke narratives need to ramp up. Wait, what?
I haven't seen the Emiru apology stuff. I was going to talk about it because Asmongold apparently, Emiru got yelled at because woke is back.
Uh-huh. We do have to do something about this. And I will continue, I think I might ramp up my hostility.
Go ahead, bitch. Go ahead. Ramp up your hostility. Cocksucker. Suck my fucking dick. Whoo! Smoke him if you got him, baby. Whoo! Oh, yes. Go ahead, baby. Keep going. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna get the sweatiest losers to be even more sweaty. Bring it on.
I think we might need to ramp it up and be even more militant and aggressive at these people.
Bring it on. Suck my dick.
100%. Because if you're not, they'll do it to you. I'll link you guys one of our Twitter communities. If one of the mods wants to link the Twitter community, we have Roach.
He's literally talking about organizing harassment brigades. Asmon is starting to steal takes and words from both you and Mike now. I know. Mike from PA has been going hard on this, and you said 10 words and they come at you. Yeah, because once again, I am seen as the beacon of woke for these people. Yeah. Oh, Asmongold goes, hey, we got to get more aggressive. What are you going to do about it? Oh, we have a Twitter harassment community. So just what you've been doing already. Keep up. Keep at it. I'll keep tanking that shit. Let me tell you something. I was tanking that shit when no one else would take a stand. You think now I'm scared? Are you kidding me? Here is Woke Wilder's take, who once again has been another brave woke warrior who is in the Austin sphere of influence and has never shied away from letting his takes be known on this, and has also routinely been yelled at. Routinely been called Hasan, by the way, ironically enough. They love bringing that shit up. They love anyone and everyone that says anything remotely empathetic. They're like, oh, Hasan brainwashed you. Does he have blackmail on you? No, man. This person is a well-read individual who has an empathetic worldview that doesn't, you are only demonstrating how stupid you and your friends are if your only association with politics is whichever content creator you've been taught to hate.
I said it's very difficult to have any tether to someone with the degree of political influence. The cultural and political influence of Asmongold has become so enormous and so publicly synonymous with the dismantling of good faith discourse in online spaces that it's very difficult to not have that friendship color what you'd go on to omit.
Yeah.
You know?
He's saying Emiru is so closely associated with Asmongold that it's virtually impossible to not reflect on it when you think about what she says and what she doesn't say.
I think the reason why people don't care about whether or not someone like Tyler One or Clint Stevens or and, you know, squeaks. You know, I think the reason why people probably might not like constantly pry, press, or attempt to get positions out of them is because their affiliations don't suggest a sort of permissive attitude towards certain ideologies.
Yeah. You hang out with chuds, people are going to think, you know.
It's a difficult thing to have a public friendship with someone who is now become synonymous with like alt-right vitriol, and like to then not take a stance is probably where people are taking that issue, right?
So here's what she came out and said. Hello, it is very rare I will speak my mind, but I'd rather get my thoughts out there, so apologies if this is long. There's a clip from my stream that's been circulating a lot, so I'd like to explain it for anyone who was hurt or shocked by it. When the clip starts, I was responding to a mod asking a question that included the word ICE. I'm not someone who normally comments on or gives my opinion on serious real-world topics, so it didn't really click to me that they were referring to the agency. You can see in the clip when I say thoughts on ICE ? There's an instant cut afterwards that makes it seem like I'm responding directly to that question, which I'm not. To clarify, since this has gotten a lot of people speculating about my real thoughts, it should go without saying no one deserves to live their life in fear of being killed or taken away from their homes or families, regardless of who's doing it, but especially not because of ICE or any other government agency. I understand the world is a very cruel and messed up place. You don't have to study politics or actively read the news to know that. I would never want to invalidate anyone who struggles with those things, and an agency like causing fear and suffering deserves zero support. To me, that's not even political. It's basic human empathy. Okay, so she's anti-ICE. Good. I mean, there you go. She's saying it. I never make comments on stream about ICE in the first place. That was a dishonest and intentionally maliciously clipped post. It's a very common thing that clip accounts do to streamers, and it's becoming more and more common. But it should go without saying, no one should have to live in fear or suffer because of who they are or where they're from. This is something that's always been important to me. I just tend to try to focus my creative stuff around games and cosplay rather than try to take up room in an environment already polluted by misinformation and hatred. Additionally, I thought I might as well bring this up now. It's a very traumatic and personal topic, so that's why I avoided talking about it. I will never be friends with anybody who abuses anyone, assaults people, or consumes content that enables the abuse of children. I've always been a creator who is friends or on good terms with basically everybody, streamers in Texas, LA, in all different bubbles. And this has unfortunately included some bad actors. A lot of people have questioned how these bad actors found their way into my circle, but it is certainly not because I am okay with the vile behavior, not abuse, not sexual assault, nor pedophilia. These guys did their best to hide their behavior, not only from me, but from everyone around us as long as they possibly could. Okay, if she's talking about tech tone, rape tone, I don't think he did a good job of hiding that. Like, he did not. He threatened another content creator with his father. Like, he would unveil his dad on another content creator as a threat, straight up. There is no point. I mean, that's crazy. Emiru and Tectone were chatting like 6 months ago, by the way. No, I know. But from everyone around us, as long as they possibly could, if serious allegations or evidence came out, I always immediately dropped them and vowed to never make content with them again. Basically, everyone in Austin did the same. These incidents, multiple of them, of course, were some the streamer community here talked about extensively and affected all of us. Would send a clear message that this type of shit isn't welcomed. I suppose maybe that did not make how I felt clear. Hopefully this makes it more clear. I mean, I don't think it makes it more clear. Missed the whole paragraph. Oh, I thought actions over words, never interacting with those people again and preventing them from being involved in the streamer community activities, a lot of which in Austin are hosted by me, would send a clear message that this type of shit isn't welcome. I suppose maybe that did not make how I felt clear. I will explain to you why this is also not fully clarifying exactly what happened here. And for the record, he did literally go, good morning. This is Nyara. Good morning. Quick reminder that I made Tectone so upset he threatened me with his rapist dad and has since then, like a completely normal person, done that to others. No one, and I mean no one, values a single about Nyara anymore. They're a professional R-word. Their words hold zero value and their existence means nothing. Next. Streamer Tectone challenges Hasan's father to fight his father. By the way, do not get knocked out around my dad. Who knows what he's going to do? Tectone's father was convicted of 14 charges, including sexually harassing 3 women and assaulting 5 women. I only read your ex's doc on you. That was enough for me to think you're a monster. Don't make me call my dad. You want him to rape me too. This dude was trying to deploy his dad like a fucking nuke. You know how like people say my dad could beat up your dad when they're children? Rape Tone was saying my dad could rape your dad. That's insane. Like, is your dad a rapist Pokemon? What do you mean you're going to deploy your dad to do rape? Anyway, the reason why I think it's important to identify exactly who Emiru was talking about, and I'll explain to you why in a second, is because bad actors can still get away by engaging in denial to their communities. Well, hopefully this makes it more clear. It doesn't. I know this won't stop people from taking issue with the way I do things. I don't expect to. I'm saying this because I know my community and friends are fatigued. That's pretty much it. Thank you for taking the time to read this. I will continue doing what I usually do. I just wanted to finally say something because the speculation and lies were getting out of control. It'll likely continue, but I hope putting my stance out there will help those who already feel unsupported, unsafe, like there's one less person trying to send hatred their way. Well, here's Tectone apparently saying,
by the way, clearing things up. She ain't talking about me. She talking about Lakari and Miz. She ain't talking about me. Okay? Hey, let's keep that shit 100%. That shit ain't about me. Motherfuckers, hey, that's about Miz and Lakari. Fucking get the fuck off of me. Get the fuck off of me. Everybody's saying, oh, that's you. No, it's not. No, it's not. Twitter disagrees with you? Yeah, because that fits their headcanon. By the way.
Like, I just don't understand. Emiru has been victim to sexual assault. How do you not make this clear? And that's my point, because this condemnation was left vague so that dipshits like Tectone, Rape Tone, can get away with saying this shit. I don't know if that was her actual intention. I'm trying to be as charitable as possible to Emiru, but this is the result. This is the desirable outcome for Tectone. Like I said, I think it is the financial pressures of having an audience that is comprised almost entirely of Asmongold's biggest dipshit warriors is the major reason as to why she's not revealing her perspective on ICE, or until she got, like, you know, yelled at. From where I'm standing, though, I don't think Emiru's a bad person in general, but she is actually very comfortable and very directly aligned and financially entangled with actual bad people. I will say that about Asmongold. Asmongold's a bad person. Rape Tone is a bad person. Dude, you're making it clear to your audience that she's friends with them. She was friends with them. Hello? What are you talking about? She was, whether you want to admit or not, friends with them. This is the reason why Tectone can get away with saying, oh, we're still good friends. I don't know if she's still friends with them. How the f am I supposed to know if she's still friends with them? But she absolutely was friends with them. You can maybe even say the same thing. You can turn around and say, Hasan, you went on that podcast too, right? You went on that podcast as well. I'm pretty sure she's still friends with Asmongold, but I think it's pretty clear what my opinion is on Rape Tone and Asmongold, right? Perhaps there's not a lot of room for speculation on whether or not I actually like Asmongold, or there's any speculation on whether or not I like Rape Tone, for example. Do you know why there's no speculation for that? Because I've made my position very clear. I've always found it strange that she is actually close friends with Asmongold. And the reality of the matter is, who you keep as your company, and maybe you can tell me that she's not friends with Asmongold. I don't think that's the case, though. But who you keep company, who you keep close company, says something about you. There's a reason why even in the ICE clip, her mod, who is Asmongold's mod as well, is saying, oh, Hasanet, thoughts on ICE? Lamau, what's next? You're going to talk about ICE? Like, it's not an accident. It's also not an accident as to why she's been, like, even more silent, I would say, than even her roommates and shit. 4-month-old clip of Emiru saying she would like to bring back the podcast with Asmongold and Tectone. I actually really missed the podcast. I would enjoy the podcast. Mask off.
They both had such beautiful sets.
I know. Our set designers are so good, and Finn and Jacob are amazing.
Bonnie even recently posted about how hard it is to be Arab Palestinian in the current political environment. That's what I mean. These are her roommates. These are her roommates, man. Her roommate is talking about the difficulties of existing as a Palestinian in this current media environment, and also in the current socio-political environment. And the person that Emiru is friends with is literally speaking every day about doing untold amounts of pain to Palestinians, to Palestinian Americans who speak out, who they should be deported. One of the Palestinian green card holders I'm going to be talking to in approximately an hour. I'm going to be talking to Mahmoud Khalil. Mahmoud Khalil has been in the crosshairs of the federal government. Asmongold has defended his deportation over and over and over again.
So he's getting deported, hopefully. And I support this. completely. I hope they do this to more of them.
Asmongold has demanded his deportation over and over again. There's not a lot of difference between someone like Mahmoud Khalil and someone like Bonnie. At the end of the day, Asmongold is basically saying people like Bonnie or people like Mahmoud Khalil who are speaking out against these atrocities deserve to be fucking deported. How do you maintain a relationship with a person like that? That's my take. So if you're wondering why it's difficult for people to speak up, by the way, yo, Asmongold, are you going to push back and hate on this statement, or is this still Asmongold? Yeah, here it is. Asmongold says content creators who engage in anti-ICE rhetoric deserve more hate and harassment.
Well, people get mad and they talk shit about this, but at the end of the day, I'm glad that more people are starting to speak up against it. And I'm glad that...
And for the record, Twitch can suck my cock too. I'm sorry. I know there's a bunch of wonderful, kind, woke individuals that work at Twitch, but you see this shit every day. I know you see this shit every day.
The only thing you have to do is crush them. You crush them completely. You never go like after you say, basically after you run one of them over, right? Or you shoot one of them for trying to run you over, then you victory lap around it and you send in more people and you do it even more. This low income, ignorant, delusional, brain dead, third world importation of all of these illiterate people that can't speak English, that have no fucking skills, live off the government, and are effectively parasites on the United States of America is a class war. All the comments saying you're a Nazi? Guys, this is just like Adolf Hitler.
And you're terrified of doing anything about it, and you never actually allow the terms of service to be followed through on. Okay, this is one of your top content creators. And the reason why you apply a double standard is because you're afraid if you actually dare to ban Asmongold, you will have a metric ton of criticism coming from possibly the Republican administration, possibly the Trump administration. You'll have JD Vance talk about it. You'll have Elon Musk talk about it.
I got retweeted by the vice president. I think he's watching right now. Maybe, man. Maybe. It'd be funny if it was.
And you don't want that smoke, so you're terrified, so you let him run his goddamn mouth every fucking day. Obviously, no such consideration is given to someone like myself. Because why? Well, because I'm anti-Israel. And when you're anti-Israel, it doesn't matter. No one is going to come out. AOC is not going to come out and be like, Hasan should not have been banned off Twitch. Kamala Harris is not going to come out and say Hasan should not have been banned off Twitch. But they know that if Asmongold gets banned, JD Vance is probably going to say something. And that's precisely the reason why they're terrified of doing something about it. When you got one of your largest content creators running around saying we should do harassment to people who speak out against ICE.
I think that content creators need to deserve, I think they deserve, and I think they need a lot more hate, and they need a lot more pushback for being able to virtue signal about how bad ICE is. I do. I'm really glad to see more people speaking up against it. And
also, Twitch knows Mold could run a gig where you could never fully abandon Twitch. What are you talking about? If I was a single platform streamer, I would just go to YouTube. That much is very clear, especially after this last week's shenanigans. Are you kidding me? The only reason why I don't dual stream on YouTube is because well, there's a reason why I have 38,000 people watching today, whereas this last week it was like sub 20K. It's because single platform streaming is obviously boosting my visibility on this platform, a platform where I have to engage in ideological warfare against people who are literally making this space a more toxic place for trans content creators, for smaller content creators, for content creators with immigrant background. I can't do that. I'm sorry. Even though I made a shit ton of money on YouTube, the reason why I'm streaming on Twitch is because I got to go where the people are. I got to go where the reactionaries are, and I got to fight the same fires that they're putting out. I know a lot of people don't understand. YouTube also has copyright restrictions, okay? There's a reason why the YouTube restreamers, people still restream my stream on YouTube right now. Right now, this stream is already on YouTube. People restream it. I don't have an issue with it. But what happens? Earlier this morning when I was watching the Bad Bunny YouTube videos, the Bad Bunny Super Bowl halftime show, those VODs got destroyed. They got copy striked. You have to game the algorithm.
they need a lot more hate, and they need a lot more pushback for being able to virtue signal about how bad ICE is. I do. I'm really glad to see more people speaking up against it and, taking a stand for these weirdos, right? Especially streamers. I want to see it happen a lot more. Well, people get mad and they talk.
Yeah, he's saying go harass people who take a negative stance against ICE. Woke is back. He can say this all day, every day. It doesn't matter. Our woke warriors will be out there in the trenches defending people who are taking that stance. The only reason why he's chirping like this is because he knows the cultural shift is here. And even he recognizes it. Yeah, go ahead. Suck my dick. Talking about how, oh, yeah, you guys should go and continue harassing people who are saying fuck ICE. He's a bitch. Here he is talking about it again.
No, I haven't seen the Emiru apology stuff. I was going to talk about it because, like, Asmongold apparently, like, Emiru got yelled at because woke is back.
We do have to do something about this. And I will continue, like, I think I might ramp up my hostility towards the people online that are pushing these woke narratives. I think we might need to ramp it up. And
how are you going to ramp it up? Yeah, he's literally saying to harass Emiru's roommate, Cinna. Exactly. Notice how I didn't say go harass Emiru for her position, okay? And as a matter of fact, as a matter of policy, I regularly talk about not tapping the glass and going after people because I think it's ugly and I think it's silly and I think it's toxic in general. Asmongold does not have any considerations such as that. Not only does he do this, and many of my haters do this all the time. Sex Pestiny is another common one that does this all the time, including but not limited to telling his audience to stalk me physically, which is something that even Asmongold considered to be a bridge too far, if you remember. But here is Asmongold openly encouraging this toxic behavior. This is the type of shit that, as a matter of policy, Twitch would clap.
Even more militant and aggressive at these people. We do. I think we have to be a lot more militant and aggressive at them. 100%. Because if you're not, they'll do it to you. I'll link you guys like one of our Twitter communities. If one of the mods wants to link the Twitter community, we have Roach Ranch. We have made 40,000 people. 40,000 people in this community. We have to be more aggressive with these people. Because you don't want to have them go around and bully and try to...
What's up, Twitch? Twitch, y'all seeing this? He's directly... I mean, how is this any different than what Aiden Ross got popped for? Other content creators see this shit, for the record. Okay? They see it. Did he say he wants to start a militia? No. A militia implies that people have to go outside. Let's be real. None of these dickheads are ever going to go outside. You don't have to worry about that. You just have to remember that all they're going to do is yell at you in your replies. That's it. Most of them are European anyway. What the f are they going to do? Catch you in the streets of Lisbon? Oh, you better not come to Copenhagen. Okay? Yes. Oh, you better not come here. If I catch you on the streets of Copenhagen, you will see how I feel about the MAGA. The outside. Twitch will give him a perma after the midterms? Nah, probably not. I mean, we'll see. His comeuppance will be inevitable, okay? Because once again, either he will turn around and retriangulate, which seemingly he's not doing right now, or once it's over, once like the power is over, the power of this administration is over in ways that even like massive corporations can recognize, at that point, Twitch will get its balls back. At that point, Twitch will get its balls back and will realize like, okay, we can actually take some punitive measures against this person, once again, who's a serial violator of the terms of service and has made this platform uninhabitable, unsustainable, and incredibly toxic. Part of the reason why I do this kind of community cleanup is because this is the space that I occupy. Some of you look at this and go, why the f are you covering drama? And I don't do this as frequently as you claim that I do, right? But the reason why I every now and then have to step in and say something is because I command a fairly large audience, okay? I have a big audience and someone has to do it. And the reality of the matter is, for as long as this administration is as domineering seemingly as it is, and as invested in like petty culture war narratives all the way down to Twitch related incidents, no one is going to speak out. I can't wait for the apolitical centrists or the liberal content creators to come out and speak out on this shit. Especially when you see things like Bonnie talking about how difficult it is to exist as a Palestinian American content creator. That's why I do it. I do it so that other people feel protected. Other people feel assured that they can let their positions be known. That's why I do it. You understand? Because I think that's why I kept repeating when people were like sitting around in this community saying, oh, well, at some point, the pendulum is going to swing, the pendulum's going to swing, the pendulum's going to swing. What did I always tell you? The pendulum will not swing unless someone is there to swing.